Okay, now we're going to talk about the Bartack technique for top edges of your pocket. For this one, we're going to start a little differently in that we're going to turn it in kind of the sideways direction. And again, I know it looks weird, but we're going to have the edge of our foot as our guide for a minute here. Okay, and we're going to not so far into it, but not so far away. Again, like a 1/4 of an inch in as well. 1/4 of an inch to a half. Kind of depends on what you want. Now, I want your stitch. You're going to change your dial over to, again, if you're on the Baby Lock Rachel, you're going to change it to a 5. You're going to change your length on there to a 0.2. And then you're going to change your width to a 5. And now it's going to do like a wide zigzag, but they're going to be like super close together. So we're going to do that for about, again, like a 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 an inch to a 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so again, it's just like a zigzag back and forth. Now that I have it, and you want it to kind of end like up on the top there. I'll show you why in just a second. I'm going to lift and turn it. And it should kind of guide right back onto the edge of the foot, which is, mine's pretty close, so we're okay. Actually, I'm going to shift that. I'm going to go a little bit further because, again, I like mine a little closer to the edge. So I'm going to go a little bit more. Sorry. Yeah, that's better. Okay, now I have my foot back down. And I am going to change my dial back to a 2. Again, I don't have to change anything except move it back to a 2. And I'm going to do just a regular stitch all the way down. You see how that needle kind of turned back in because it was up on top? That's why you want to keep it up on top when you finish. Again, when you get to those corners, make sure they're nice and tucked in. Again, you can follow the edge of your foot. But I like it just to be a little bit closer, so that's why I follow the inside of my ski. One more stitch before I pivot. Remember, foot up, needle down, turn fabric. Okay, for this one, just like the other one, we are going to go all the way to the top before we pivot again, and then finish with another bar tack up at the top. Again, the whole point of this is to reinforce our top edges of our pocket so that it doesn't, and kind of when you want to end up on the top again, so that it doesn't fall apart once we start like putting our hand in our pocket there. Okay, now again, put foot back down, change it to a 5, change your length to a 0.2, and change your width to a 5 here. Now it's going to start doing that zigzag again, just like we had over here. It's going to start doing that zigzag. Go about the same width that you had before. So mine was about a 1/4 inch. It'll feel like it's stuck. Just make sure it's moving a little bit. Okay, I'm going to show you one more trick before. Oh, that looks good, Gina. Okay, I'm going to show you one more trick over here. Now, when it comes to like big zigzags like this, you don't want it to fall apart. Again, this is kind of the end result here. All right, both of them look like that, so it looks really nice at the top. One more little trick. So when you pull your thread right back here and you're getting ready to cut it, instead of cutting it, like pull it a little bit, and you'll see that loop kind of comes through. Pull that thread through. This is only on like big zigzags. They're just kind of funky, and you want to make sure that your fabric and your stuff doesn't fall apart later. So once you have that through, you have 2 really long threads. Instead of cutting them, first I want you to take your threads and kind of tie it like you're tying a shoe. Okay, so tie here once and go one more time. Again, this is just a little technique I've learned. It's not required. It's okay if you cut your threads. They just might come out a little bit later. Tie your knot real nice like that, and then you're going to clip your threads, and that's gonna like hold a lot nicer for you. So that's just an option.